Very good morning to all. Myself, Dr. Lieutenant Harsimran Kaur from KRM DAV College, Nagodar, under 2nd Punjab Girls Battalion NCC, Jalandhar. My lectures are under the topic Disaster Management. I'll discuss the chapter 3rd and 4th under Disaster Management. So we are going to start the chapter 3rd, that is essential services and their maintenance. First of all, discuss what is the term essential services. Essential services means any public utility, service, public safety or maintenance of infrastructure and services which are necessary for the maintenance of daily life of the people and the known availability of which would result in the infliction of grave, extreme hardship of the people. Then now we'll discuss the essential services categories. So essential service can be categorized as under. We have few points under the categories of essential services. Number 1, that is postal, telegraph or telephone services. Number 2, transport services like rail, road, air and sea. Number 3, running of air, seaports. Number 4, provision of water, electricity and sanitation services. Number 5, medical services and essential supplies. Number 7, production and supply of essential commodities. And number 8, running of government, mint and security presses. So here these are the 8 categories under the essential services. Type of maintenance required for essential services. Now we will go for this. These services are maintained by the government at all costs. There are very rejects acts and provision to ensure continuity of these services, since without them, like in a country, will go out of care. Very strict provision in law exist against personnel going on strike, refusing to work overtime or any other conduct which is likely to result in substantial degradation of work. In maintaining the services at district level, each district is required to prepare in advance contingency plans to tackle the likely disturbances in continuity of these services. So these are the type we are discussing of type of maintenance required for essential services, and we have some few points or services, so we are going to discuss that also. So number 1 is medical. So under the medical we have some points. Number 1, running of medical facilities and hospitals. 2, providing nursing services and first aid. C, rescue of trapped persons and casualty evacuation. And fourth point is related to disposal of dead bodies and carcasses. Another one is immunization of population in relief camps. Now we will go for communication. So under the communications we are having 2 main points. First, that is related to maintenance and provision of uninterrupted telecommunication through telephone services, telefax, mobile phones, VHF transmitters, etc. And second point related to this is dissemination of information, monitoring media coverage and quelling of rumors. So here these are the 2 points which are related to communication. Now we'll discuss the next point, infrastructure. We have some points under this. Number 1, infrastructure of roads and bridges, communications, water and electricity, supply sewage and essential buildings such as schools, colleges and health centers may be required to be rebuilt and repaired. The B point under this, housing and rehabilitation. C. For economic rehabilitation, funding and various new opportunities ought to be created in addition to getting the destroyed stocks replenished for restoration of livelihood. Now there are 2 points under the miscellaneous. So number 1, provision of military, paramilitary and police assistance. Point B, speedy establishment of control room and deployment of human and material resources in a short time. So here we have compiled the type of maintenance required for essential services. Under this, we already have discussed about the medical, communication, transport, infrastructure and some miscellaneous points. Now I am going to discuss a very important point which is directly related to NCC cadets. That is, role of NCC cadets in maintaining essential services. So we all have to know, or NCC cadets must know their duties and role regarding maintaining essential services. So for this, being qualified in first aid basic, home nursing, signals and having developed leadership traits and learnt about social services, civil defense and disaster management. The cadets of NCC could assist in the maintaining the following essential services and important tasks in any and every part of the country in following ways. So we all have to know our role and how we contribute. So first point under this is related to an operators in telephone exchange. Second, as nurses in hospitals or as links between doctor, nurses, patients and hospital technicians. They could also help in maintaining hospital discipline and security. The third point, assist in establishment and running of first aid centers. D. Assist civil defense wardens in carrying out their duties. Next point, carry out neighborhood campaigns by motivating people to create self-assistance group. Another point, counteract gossip and rumor to restore the morale of the people. Assist the civil authorities whenever feasible and to the best of ability. Some of the areas where cadets can help are. So here there are some areas where cadets can contribute their duties or their responsibilities. So number 1 under this is search for and rescue trapped people. Next point means second point, salvage destroyed structures and property. Third point, distribution of relief material to the affected population for their temporary sustenance. Fourth point, coordinate the flow of relief material from outside and ensure maximum coverage of territory in provision of relief stores, food and water, avoiding wastage and duplication of work in the same area. The fifth point under this is repair and restore essential services to enable rescue and relief work and for normalization of activities. So these are the points or the work or the duties that can be done or that can be by the NCC cadets, or they can do it during their role or during their duty under maintaining essential services. So all the cadets must know their role of maintaining essential services. I am going to discuss my second chapter, that is chapter 4th, under the disaster management. The chapter is traffic control during natural disasters under police supervision. This is very important chapter, and now we'll start by the introduction. Disaster causes substantial damage to life and property, and its impact affects life beyond the boundaries of one state. Due to breakdown of command and control and general law and order affected by law of or no communication means, it is necessary that systems and organizations are set in place to ensure that evacuation and subsequent reconstructions can be carried out smoothly. The major confusion is caused due to the movement of men and transport moving out to secure areas and overzealous volunteers rushing in to help. Thus, police in general and traffic police in particular play an important role in the disaster management law. NCC cadets are trained workforces which can be utilized to assist the civil authorities during such period, and we know that NCC cadets are always in everywhere where the society and where the system wants the help, and this organization is always there for them. So in this context we can see that whereas the civil authorities are short on trained personnel, however, for the cadets to be usefully employed, it is important to educate them on the role of traffic police during such situation. So I'm going to discuss, that is, responsibilities of traffic police in disaster management. So what are the responsibilities of traffic police in disaster management? All we have to know about this. So we have some important points under this. The traffic police is responsible for following action during a natural disaster. So we are discussing here the natural disaster. So A, to ensure smooth flow of all types of traffic in a disaster situation. Number B, to provide adequate safety and security to the VIPs, protected persons and the common people affected by the disasters. C, to assist in securing the property of people affected by a disaster. And D, to assist in evacuation of the injured person to the nearby hospital on priority. E, to assist in crowd control at the affected place as well as at respective hospitals and to prevent riots, looting, etc. To ensure all possible help to the fire service, medical and other paramedical personnel in the handling the disaster. Point G, to help ensuring proper access to the fire brigade, ambulances, VIPs and other functionaries authorized visit the scene or to carry out the rescue relief operations. Point H, to assist in cordoning of the area to restrict movement of onlookers and vehicular and pedestrian traffic. Next, I point, to assist in ensuring collection of intelligence on the possibility of disaster. Point J, to ensure better liaison and coordination with the official of apex, civic bodies and other responsible while handling the disaster. Point K, to assist in proper identification of the dead and injured. Point L, to carry out adequate mobile patrolling in and around the affected area. So these are the 7-8 points which are directly related to the responsibility of traffic police in a disaster management, and it is a very important topic, and the question can become in the examination that what are the responsibilities of traffic police in the disaster management. So we have already discussed this. Now we have another very important topic, that is employment of NCC cadets under traffic police during natural disasters. So Under this topic, we will start from here that for employment of NCC cadets during natural disaster, proper SOPs will have to be made by local CO, group commander, in consultation with the DDMA under the guidelines issued by Headquarter DG NCC, the state NCC directorates. One of the roles to be given to NCC cadets in the overall district disaster management is assistance to traffic police, responsibilities of local traffic police, and where cadets can be employed during disaster management stage are under. So we are going to see that what are the responsibility of the local traffic police and where the cadets can be employed. So here we have to see that where NCC can be employed during the natural disaster management stage. So the first point under this is immediate action. On receipt of the information about any disaster taking place, SP, Deputy SP concerned shall rush to the spot immediately with his quick reaction team equipped with adequate communication equipment, rescue material, protective gear, warning signs and contact numbers. Assess the situation and inform the SSPs about the situation. SSP should arrange for the additional force from local resources. Some NCC cadets can form part of the group which goes for the immediate action. So the next point is initial law and order. Local traffic police shall rush to the spot with ropes, searchlights and other items for maintaining law and order. NCC cadets can be incorporated with the local police personnel. So we are discussing where we employed the NCC cadets and what are the role of the traffic police. So the next point, cordoning. So this is also a very important point. So here we are going to discuss around this cordoning. The entire affected area shall be cordoned off and no collection of crowd be allowed there. NCC cadets can be used to cordon off affected areas. The next point under this is casualty management. The traffic police plays an important role in the traffic control and guidance in the chain of evacuation of casualties, as injured person shall be evacuated to the nearby hospital by PCR, ambulance and other mode of. NCC cadets can accompany the casualty or be employed as pointsmen at hospitals. Next point under this is traffic flow. No traffic shall be allowed to pass through the affected areas and necessary diversion shall be made accordingly. Diversion points can be manned by the NCC cadets in coordination with traffic police. Next point under this is emergency vehicle. The local traffic police shall ensure clear passage for emergency vehicle until traffic arrangements are made. NCC cadets can be employed to check and ensure that only emergency vehicles are permitted to the right of way. Rescue services. Help shall be provided to the rescue services and volunteers in all possible manners. This will include guiding the fire tenders, ambulances, etc. to the place of incident through a clear route. NCC cadets can be cooperated with the rescue services and volunteers to guide and escorting duties. Adequate reserve. Adequate force be kept at the scene of occurrence of traffic control. NCC cadets can form part of the reserve forces to aid traffic police. So next point under this is maintain records of incidents. The entire scene of incident must be videographed as early as possible with a view of reconstruct the scene of occurrence during the course of investigation. NCC cadets can be employed to videograph and carry out tasks in maintaining of records of incidents. So we have now some miscellaneous points. I am going to discuss that. The number one point under this is the mock exercise of various disaster management authorities and groups should be conducted from time to time. Cadets must participate in mock exercise to understand their role and drawbacks noted must be improved upon. Following details should be available with all concerned authorities, and allocations can be visited and details coordinated by the cadets and NCC authorities for it to be the use of during disaster management. So we have some sub points under this. So number 1 and very important points. Number 1, list of vital installation and buildings falling in the district, list of major hospitals, nursing homes, casualties and ambulance services functioning in the district, list of licensed blood banks, availability of heavy duty cranes, list of persons agency having earth moving rescue equipments, important telephone numbers for disaster management authorities, groups, list of fire static water tanks, list of officials of Home Guards and Civil Defence and NCC Directorate, list of NGOs, voluntary organization to be conducted at the time of disaster, list of colleges and schools falling in the sector, and list of big temples, gurdwaras, masjids and churches in district, and last but the not least, list of the market association. So here I am going to conclude by this that NCC cadets, being a well trained force, can contribute immensely in providing necessary assistance to traffic police during disaster. However, it must be ensured that the NCC cadets are not employed on dangerous routes, areas, and their security and the safety must be kept in mind before employing them. So I have completed this chapter 2. So we have the chapter we have completed now is the traffic control during natural disaster under police supervision. So what is the role of NCC cadets under this? So we have completed. So hope you understand this very well, and we will discuss these chapters again and again so that you can understand these aspects very well, and all NCC cadets must know their duties and their responsibility under this. So thank you so much.